When Sir Keir Starmer handed Donald Trump the King's invitation for a second state visit, cameras flashed, eyebrows lifted, and the British public whispered, "Why now? Is this really a man to honour with full regalia? After all, Trump is no stranger to vulgarity, volatility, or vandalised lawns." But perhaps we're asking the wrong question. Perhaps if we ask whether he should be allowed a state carriage ride down the Mall, that's also the wrong question. Instead of asking why reward Trump, we should ask, what is a state visit for? A state visit is not a laurel wreath for past virtue. It's a mirror raised to possibility. It's not a eulogy, but an encouragement, a form of diplomatic theatre where the hand of friendship is offered proleptically, as a gesture, not to someone who is, but to what they might become. Trump is not being knighted, he's being hosted. State visits are rituals of recognition, not ratification. The British Crown has hosted despots and Democrats alike, from the Emperor Haile Selassie to President Xi. They're not moral endorsements, they are global gestures, tools of persuasion, not prizes. And those who see this second state visit as a reward misunderstand both Trump and diplomacy and our monarchy. Trump is not being crowned king of decency. He's being invited to behave as if he were a decent individual. When Trump and Starmer spoke in March, the world braced for tariff shocks. Trump, however, was incensed, not about trade, but about Turnberry. He raised it again and again. Here we glimpse the problem. The man is distracted, consumed by personal interests. So the UK responds not with cancellation, but with choreography. A state visit in this context becomes a tool of containment, an elegant bridal wrapped in velvet. It sets expectations. It says you will be treated as a head of state if and only if you act like one. Even King Charles's invitation treads this line with grace and guile. He offers not just a dinner, but a conversation, not just Windsor, but Dumfries House. He invites Trump into the heritage and hospitality of Britain, not simply its fanfare. And in doing so, he makes a subtle point. We are showing you who we think you can be. This is the diplomacy of hope, of calculated optimism, the same hope that welcomed President Reagan after Iran-Contra, the same hope that hosted de Gaulle after Vichy. We do not host Trump because we admire him. We host him to urge him to rise to the occasion. Compare that with the petty feud with Elon Musk, a spectacle of ego, entitlement, and economic vandalism. Trump, enraged over electric car subsidies and wounded pride, chose not to lead but to lash out. Tesla, a symbol of American industrial innovation, became collateral in a tantrum. A state visit, by contrast, is not for tantrums. It's the adult room. It's where nations stage their aspirations. And what does the UK want? Trade stability, defence cooperation, a steady hand over the Chagos negotiations, a president who, whatever his flaws, understands the stakes of his office. A state visit can remind him of that. Yes, there'll be no golden coach, no, for reasons of security and optics, no helicopter on the Buckingham Palace lawn, much to His Majesty's horticultural relief, but there will be ceremony, there will be gravitas, and that matters, because for all the mockery, Donald Trump is susceptible to symbolism. He loves titles, he loves uniforms, he loves history, not in a nuanced way, but in a scrapbook way. He sees himself as a protagonist, and Britain can use that theatrical vanity for something nobler than ego stroking. Let the red carpet speak, not of deference, but of duty. And Trump's duty at that. Trump's second state visit is not a toast to his past, it's a nudge towards a better future. However unlikely, it's a chess move, not a coronation, and if it succeeds, not in changing the man, but in containing his worst impulses and encouraging his better angles, it will have been worth every velvet cushion and every polished shoe. Because diplomacy, at its best, is not about rewarding what has been done, it's about investing in what might be done, against the odds and in full knowledge of the risks. And that, I submit, is what Britain is doing now, not rolling over, but reaching out carefully, consciously, and with the hope that the act of honour can sometimes summon the man to meet it. And we shouldn't confuse ceremony with surrender. We should remember that sometimes the theatre of statecraft is not about applause, but about transformation.